All right, guys, welcome back to the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, everybody. Episode 198. I'm your host, Rick Shiels. I'm here with co-host Guy.
Yes.
How is everything? How are you? More importantly, how is everybody listening?
I don't know how they are listening.
They can't.
Somebody in the car going, I'm all right, thanks, mate. Yeah, right, I'm all right.
Some guy, thanks for asking, Rick. I've really wanted someone to ask me that today. Well, if you are listening, you're watching, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I feel Monday motivated somehow, and I have no right to be.
The reason that you feel Monday motivated is that literally 10 seconds before starting this podcast, we've just ordered the biggest burger delivery coming from Burgerism in the next hour. So we're super excited for that.
That might be what it is.
Because diets start on a Monday.
Yes, or not this Monday. Anyway,
Next Monday.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone is good. It's been a weird, hectic week. Feel like I've been here, then everywhere, achieved a lot, but also to some degree, it's not, I don't know, it's been a real weird week.
Any progress in your golf?
Yes.
How?
I've not played.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
I've lost a single ball.
I've not made not made a bogey or lost a single ball for a week.
You know, I've never shot over par at Augusta.
Wow.
Yeah. Just thought I'd drop that.
Well, I'm trying to think. I must have played since last week. No, I've not.
No?
I've not touched a golf club. Well, I have because I did some reviews, but I've not been out on the golf course and played for a full week. I think I needed it.
Yeah, you did. And that will change this week because on Wednesday, so the day after most people are listening to this podcast, we are getting on a plane. We are flying to Italy for
a romantic weekend away, just you and me.
Correct. Pizza, spaghetti, some red wine.
Should be nice.
To a new handbag. I've got my eye on one, little Louis Vuitton.
We are going to Rome.
We are.
Because Rome this year, at the end of September, early October, will become the capital of golf.
Yes.
Ryder Cup.
Yes.
2023.
Yes.
It's going to be I'm very, very excited about this Ryder Cup. More for the picks as opposed to who actually the Ryder Cup itself. Like, there's so much going on with the Ryder Cup. Like, who's going to get picked? What live players from America are going to get picked? Lucas Glover's just gone back-to-back wins. How's the European team going to look? It's going to be crazy. But we are going to get an opportunity to play the golf course this Thursday. Marco Simone. A golf course that, truth be told, right now, I don't know a lot about at all. Mm-hmm. However, that's going to change enormously because we're not only getting to play the golf course on Thursday, we are also going to be sitting down and doing an interview with the course designer, the guy who designed Marco Simone.
Correct. We're going over there with European Golf Design, who are essentially the business who designed the golf course. It's the same people that designed JCB. When we had Jeremy on the podcast, we're having Dave on the podcast. Robin. Jeremy is from European Design. That's where we got that from. We had Robin Heisman on the podcast. Sorry. We've now got Dave on the podcast who designed Marco Simone. We are going to become experts of the golf course and probably play it really well. I'd imagine.
I think so.
Grandstands are up.
I think so. I think it's going to be anywhere, and we've been very, very fortunate this year. Anytime you get to play a golf course with the grandstands up, it's always pretty special.
Yes.
This will be, and this is kind of a weird flex, and I don't mean it to be, probably like the 5th or 6th golf course I've played this year with grandstands up.
Really?
Sawgrass.
Yes.
Bay Hill.
Yes.
You could argue Augusta. There were still stands of seats or whatever.
Let's argue it.
Royal Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then Marco Simone.
Wow.
I don't think I missed any. So that is going to be absolutely epic. From one thing I know about the golf course, there's lots of water.
It's set up for match play.
What are we doing a break 75?
I don't know.
I think a break 75 is good.
Don't fancy chances, do you? Imagine that.
I want the viewers to see all 18 holes.
Of course, not 10 and 8. So
I
think at the minute, it'll be a whitewash.
I reckon start.
No, I reckon I'd beat you 4 and 3.
But are we having a side hustle match play as well?
Do you want to have a side hustle match play?
Okay, we'll do a side. Then the video needs to be a break 75 because it'll actually go out the week of the Ryder Cup. We'll drop it on Monday, Ryder Cup week, so that everybody watching, listening can get their juices flowing for the upcoming Ryder Cup.
If I win, you have to give me the channel. Yep. Or do you think you might lose? That's why I don't want to do it. Scared. No, I'm excited. I'm excited. It should be good. I think.
Are you going to hit ball? I need to hit balls. I've just realised.
Don't worry about me hitting balls, mate. I was at the range this weekend. Took my baby.
I best hit some balls. Get this body moving a little bit.
I'm a flusher now with new irons. I really, really, really am getting good at golf.
What am I going to do? Am I going to put some new irons in the bag? I don't think I'll put new irons in. I might put that 3-iron in that I've got my eye on. Mm-hmm. And then that's it.
Yeah, because it's the club's fault why I haven't been playing well.
Or should I put new wedges in that I just reviewed?
Are they? Is that video out yet? No, it's not.
So
let's give a little bit of a teaser. Go on.
Last couple of weeks on Hit, we've been reviewing lots of new equipment, which is exactly what the channel is designed to do.
Yes.
All the new Titleist irons. We've managed to also test the brand new tailor-made wedges.
Yes.
And they're beautiful. I think they're really, really nice. So at the moment, I'm in transition period with my wedges. I had Vokeys. I then switched to Indy, which is a bit of a. I don't know.
A little fur one at that.
A little kind of holiday romance.
It was. They're not going to last. You knew that.
I knew that.
She kind of knew that.
They would bounce back.
Yeah. There was lots of bounce. That was rubbish. Oh my God.
So they might be leaving the bag and onto new pastures, but tailor-made MG4 wedges may be going in. Tiger Woods grind on the bottom, be able to open it up, do a little bit of R1, release 1 and release 2 and remember all those things. I need to watch that video back actually. I might watch the Dan Grieve video on the plane flying to Rome just to remind myself. Yeah. And then last week as well, even though I didn't play golf, we filmed a really cool video. You didn't come on the shoot, but we went to honestly, quite simply, one of my favourite places I've been to.
Really?
I just love how quaint it is.
Okay.
So last couple of years ago, we went to a golf course in Derby called Pastures, Pastures, with ex-Tour pro James Robinson. Because at the time, nobody at the Pastures had ever broken par.
I was convinced when we went with James Robinson that he would be breaking par.
Without question. It's 5,500 yards, a par 64. It's 9 holes. You play it twice. The current course record when we went with James was 1 over par. Like, no one's even shot par. Now, Richard, who was the current course holder, has now since gone 1 under par. He is the first man on the planet to shoot an under par score at that golf course.
So you went with Ryan Ruffles.
I went with Ryan. Now, you saw Ryan recently on the JCB video where I played with Ryan a couple of times this year, Isleworth and at JCB when he did the 10 Mulligan Challenge. I am not joking when I say this. I've been very fortunate to play with a lot of amazing golfers. Ryan flushes it. He flushes it. His swing is ridiculous. He hits driver so bloody good. However, the Pastures isn't about power. It's not about smashing driver. In fact, it was advised by the members to take the driver out of the bag, which he listened to. He didn't have the driver. He didn't hit it well. He didn't need to.
Wow.
So,
you can't tell us what happened, but I want to know what happened.
Yeah. Brian.
Brian.
Brian. Will Ryan.
Cheers, Mick.
What's going on today? Will Ryan Ruffles, Tour Pro, who's currently right now this week, he's actually got an invite as well to the DP World Tour event in Ireland. So he's going to be playing in a European Tour, DP World Tour event this weekend. Does Ryan Ruffles break par, set a new course record at the Pastures? Video will be out this week, I think. I think we're aiming for this week. Don't quote me on it.
You know what's mad? Ryan Ruffles sounds like a cool name, doesn't it? But if he was called Brian Bruffles, it's totally different, isn't it? He's like 65, retired. He was a mechanic, Brian Bruffles. Trustworthy guy.
Oh, yes. But, you can imagine that. And then his son, Brian Bruffles Jr., now owns the car mechanics. On another note of Ruffles... Okay.
Yes.
From one Ruffles to another Ruffles, and this is genuine, Gabriella,
his sister,
won on tour. Her 3rd win on the Epsom Tour, which is like the tour lower down than the LPGA Tour.
Okay. So the Corn Ferry Essential in the women's.
She won, she shot 12 under par, Total score, she absolutely dominated it. 3rd win so far. It was funny, Ryan, because I spent a bit of time with Ryan last week. He honestly thinks, he obviously has huge high hopes for himself. The hopes he has for his sister are just ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah. And they come from a background where their father and mother were both professional tennis players.
Wow.
Their dad played in the Wimbledon final, doubles Wimbledon final, like back in like the 70s.
That's weird. It's weird because they're Australian, aren't they, as well? Australian,
but when his tennis career was kind of going on the up, they moved to America.
Right.
And then when Ryan was 10, they moved back to Australia till he was about 18, 19, and they moved back to America.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's a fascinating story. So Gabriella won. And then also, continuing on Lady Golf news, I honestly was glued to the action yesterday at the AIG Women's Open at Walton Heath because new friend of the channel, Charlie Hull, which video went last week. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. She was in contention.
Yeah, it was frustrating for me because I was watching Liverpool v Chelsea. I wanted to watch the golf at the same time, so I was flicking between the two, and I was really hoping that Charlie Hull would win and the Rick Shiel effect would be proven once again. She didn't win, but firstly, how good did the golf course look?
Unreal.
It looked so good. And I was actually really enjoying kind of watching the golf. And I think this year in particular, I don't kind of know why this is, but it felt like the AIG Women's Open was almost more talked about and more spoken about than I've probably known before.
Yeah, no, I would say, yeah, I'd agree with that. Obviously, our involvement, we got contacted by the RNA about coming down and doing a video at Walton Heath to showcase the AIG Women's Open. We made a request, is there any chance we can film with Charlie Hull? They said, yes, we'll grant it. Charlie was incredible golf on that video. Like, her golf is absolutely outrageous. She is one of the best talents genuinely the lady talents I've ever played with. I remember years ago, do you remember when I played in the Royal Lytham Pro-Am with Nasa Hatakocha?
Yeah.
Was that about 2018? Famous 2018 year. And she was one of the most impressive women golfers I've ever seen because she didn't put a foot wrong and just kind of everything was just down the fairway, middle of the green, one putt or 2 putt. Charlie Hull plays a very different game to that.
Yeah.
Like she's longer hitting. She's more aggressive. She goes for everything. And I think sometimes, certainly we might have seen a little bit of that yesterday. That's where her rounds will sometimes fluctuate. She can go super, 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 super low and shoot 6, 7, 8, 9 under. But when her aggressive play isn't quite working on her side, it can also kind of fall down a little bit. It's exciting though, isn't it? It's very exciting.
You know what? I was watching some of the golf though, and I saw Charlie Hull was hitting driver, and a ball speed is about 150 miles an hour, which is, I'd say, faster than the average male golf club member.
Yes, I would agree, 100%.
And I don't know the actual stats on that, but I think it is. And I was thinking that if I could actually have the chance to walk around and watch her versus an actual PJ Tour pro, I think I'd rather walk around and watch her because how they shoot these scores, and the courses aren't crazy short, obviously. Like, they're hitting such good shots. So many like hybrids and longer irons just absolutely flush into the greens.
Wow, I've just quick research and I'm sure this isn't fact. This is Google telling me this. A PGA Tour player averages 168 miles per hour.
Sounds about right, yeah.
A high level amateur is 160. A 5 handicapper is around 147.
Wow.
And a 10 handicapper would be around about 138.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's much, much higher than pretty much every man at every golf club that you can think of, really.
What was it?
And it was, I was watching it. I can't remember, it was the 3rd or 4th hole. She went for this pin, took right in the corner, and she plays with this kind of draw. She loves to draw it. She wants to see the ball. She mentioned in the video, she wants to see it going left. She hates any shot that goes right, which is so not usual for a good player.
No.
Like lefts often for good players, and I'll know it for someone who has overdrawn the golf ball quite a lot, is that like it feels like there's not much control when you overdraw it.
Correct.
She would more than she hates it when it goes right. So she had this shot and it was a pin tucked to the right hand corner. She's playing this draw, and for whatever reason, it just didn't quite turn over. I think she was hitting out the rough, and it missed the green by honestly three yards max. And the way that the camera filmed it, and it just plopped deep down into this like nasty lie, horrible lie, and she was short-sided herself. And she couldn't get it up and down. And that kind of started the first bogey, and she had a couple more after that. I mean, she ended up shooting one over for the final round and missing out by, in total, 6 shots in the end. But all credit to Lillian View, who second major of the year, and her golf yesterday, she's only 25 years old. She just didn't put a foot wrong at all. She's had 6 professional wins now. And just killed it. Honestly, I thought she was very, very impressive. Not phased at all. And to go around in she was leading the AIG Women's Open, and then to go out and shoot 5 under to extend her lead. It was a pretty dominating performance, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, like I said, the coverage was great. And I kind of feel like I should watch more of the women's golf. But at the same time, I said this before, there's so much to watch. Now, obviously, on the weekend, there was the FedEx. There was the, what was the actual event? It's just got in my mind.
St. Jude's.
Yes. Then there was, obviously, Liv was on, and the women's was on. There was football on. There was cricket on. As you know, I'm a massive fan of the 100 now. I saw people commenting on the last video that my cricket knowledge was horrendous, which I admit.
However, I did see an advert. They are all sponsored by Crisps.
I told you.
Skips, hula hoops.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
I'd be hungry all the time playing that game.
But
luckily, it doesn't last long.
Did you watch any of the Liv stuff?
No.
That is?
I mean, I've had a busy weekend, as you know. It was my wife's 40th birthday. So that was last weekend. So August is always a really busy month for me. It's my youngest daughter's birthday on the 9th of August. My wife's birthday on the 10th of August. So I had a couple of days off for them. And then we had a party on Saturday, which you attended to.
I did.
And then I was recovering yesterday.
Up, weren't we?
We had a few little sherbets, yeah. There was a few baby beers floating around.
I'd never had a baby beer before.
What do you think?
It wasn't bad. I'm not normally a shots kind of guy.
It's not really a shot though, is it?
Well,
it's like a dessert.
Yeah, and I'm normally, I think you'll agree with me on this, I'm quite strong-minded. If someone said, do you want a shot? I'll say no, I don't really fall to peer pressure. I'm like, no, I'm all right, honestly, I'm good. But it wasn't so much peer pressure, but Robinson was there, James Robinson was there, and you were like, have one, go on. I was like, go on then, let my hair down. Hair was down to my shoulders on it, it was really long.
That was ridiculous.
It was so long.
I didn't know you had such longer locks.
And there was a few of those consumed.
Baby beers are the best. And luckily, we had also the little beer shot glasses.
Yes, they were cool.
With little handles. They were actually like baby beers.
Yeah.
They're very impressive. So
the only thing I didn't quite like is how you ensured to everyone had to call you boss. Everybody.
Shut up. Yeah, everyone knows it's sir.
Yeah. Another bit of golf news though, that's slightly off topic, but something I want to give a shout out to. So the golf club I was a member at basically all my life. I'm not actually a member at the moment, but I still go up occasionally. Hopwood Golf Club, St Helens. My biggest, what was the word I'm looking for? The one thing I wanted more than anything when I was growing up was to be club champion. It never happened. I probably came in the top 3 or so, maybe a couple of times, and I was never either A, good enough, if I'm being honest, or B,
good enough.
Good enough. Or B, it was something that I could actually, I held it in such a high regard, because when I was like a junior, and obviously summer holidays, club championship was in the summer, it was 2 rounds, Saturday and Sunday, stroke play. I know some clubs then go into match play, but it's just pure stroke play. I would practice all summer for it, and then the weekend would come and it'd just be the biggest thing in my life. And I think where maybe some of the older members potentially had a benefit was because they actually had busy working lives. Yes, they wanted to prioritize the golf and practice, but there was bigger things than golf. I almost put golf on such a pedestal, it was ridiculous. Anyway, what I'm going to come on to, a young junior at the golf club who I think you do know of, Ben Caddock.
Yeah.
So he is Barry Taylor, who's a friend of mine, who's a PJ golf pro and a coach down at Clark's Golf Centre. His stepson, Ben, he's 15 years old, right? He is he's now a 0.7 handicap, and he won the club championship.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
He is a ball, and I think he's going to have, I don't want to put pressure on the guy, but I think he's got potential for quite a big future, because He's 15 years old. I think he's going to year 11 at school, so he'll be turning 16 at some point in the the next year or so. Obviously, if he's 15.
As maths would go.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think that works.
He's quite good. He's 15, and then within a year, yeah,
15,
that's how numbers work.
16, yeah, no, you're right.
And he's at that age where I don't think he's quite had his growth spurt yet. I think he's going to probably grow quite a bit. And I've just asked Barry for some stats. He's 5'3" and 7 stone. So he's not a big beast, but his club head speed is 106 miles an hour. He's getting 157 ball speed.
There's so much talent in the talent pool of junior golf.
Yes.
I think the future is going to be very bright for golf. And I don't know, just in all facets of the game, like from professional golf to, I'm saying that. I think there's going to be a lot of really strong professional golfers. Going back to this kind of professional events at the moment, I do feel like just a lot of golf watchable. Mm-hmm. And how does it all get consumed? Like you mentioned before, like I say, I have had a busy weekend and Saturday night was taken up and blah, 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 blah. But how do you watch like Live, DP World Tour, AIG, St. Jude's?
You can't, can you? That's the thing. There's too much.
Yeah. So we didn't watch anything.
No.
However, I do know Cam Smith won Live again. Mm-hmm. Another $4 million.
Nice.
Back pocket. Lucas Glover out of nowhere has just gone back-to-back wins.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? How does that happen? Apparently he had the short game yips and he's got rid of them.
Wow.
I could do with that. What medicine did he take?
But it just shows, though, how mad golf actually is.
Crazy.
And we say this a lot, but you think about that, like, you can just suddenly hit a patch of form where everything goes right and you can be winning massive, massive events. And then equally, it can so much off the boil. And there was something I saw on Twitter, I can't remember who it was. It was like one of these golf stats people or somebody that does like kind of tweets about golf, saying that you often see, and I bet you saw this loads when you were a coaching all the time, people would come to you and say, I want to be more consistent. And you look at the guys on tour, and we use Rory as an example, how he can go 62, 78 or whatever. Like, is consistency actually a thing? Does it exist?
I think it depends what you ask. What do you want consistency over? So
scores.
Well, scores, that's the challenge. Because if you want to hit consistently better shots, or you want to be consistently hitting it less out of bounds, or you want to be consistently taking low putts, you can do all of those things to a certain degree. But then that doesn't always mean you're going to then post a brilliant score, because to try and get every single aspect of your game consistent, that's really, really difficult.
Well, just look at this, right? So this is the round history of Lucas Glover. Okay, and I'll go down maybe 10 or so events to kind of give you some idea. Win, right? That's consistent.
That's pretty good.
Week before that, missed cut. Then he went 5th, tied 6th, tied 4. So you're thinking that's super consistent. Then he went cut. Then he went tied 20th. Then it was missed cut, tied 79, missed cut, 45. So you look at that and you think his form now is insane, but only a few months ago it was missed cut. Like, how does it happen?
There's a couple of things I'm just reading here. Like, so he genuinely considered quitting.
Wow.
Not that long ago. There was times where he was considering taking a hiatus as he was searching for the cures for kind of like the yips, basically. He said here, I had no control over my tiles.
Huh?
Body parts.
I don't know. Not what I call mine.
Some people would say that about my dance moves on Saturday, that I had no control. and that it was difficult to understand and difficult to deal with. Yeah, he's kind of like continued to work really hard.
True or false? Until this last week when these last 2 weeks when he won, had you forgot he won a major?
I totally forgot about him.
Yeah, like he's a major champion.
And now, potentially, he's going to be a Ryder Cup player.
He's played Ryder Cup before though, right?
Nope.
Has he not?
No.
Never?
No.
Is that real?
I promise you I'm alive.
In your life? Well, Rich just died.
No, I promise he has not done Ryder Cup before.
Fair dues. I thought he would have done that when he had that win. Major win, the US Open.
But it depends on what year it fell.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Because if it fell on the opposite year of Ryder Cup, you could easily kind of, just not get picked because on form, etc. But But also, like, when you actually look at leaderboard, what's mad is Lucas Glover obviously won a playoff against Patrick Cantley. Rory McIlroy there again.
Yeah.
Third place. Joint third place with Tommy Fleetwood. I feel like Tommy is really, really, really close to breaking through.
Yeah.
I feel like he's not won in America yet, and I feel like he's really been knocking at the door this year. It's so hard to know what it takes to kind of just cross that line, but I suppose you just need that one bit of luck, and you need that one win, don't you?
This is the thing, though. Again, what sounds obvious, but winning an event at this level is so difficult. That Rory and Tommy in particular are having such great kind of, again, we will use that term of almost consistent seasons. They're kind of up there. You're not surprised they're in the top 10, the top 5. But every single week on the PGA Tour, there's going to be someone who has the week of the life, isn't there? Or in the case of 2 weeks at Lucas Glover. So you've not only got to beat all the guys that you know you have to beat, there's also going to be somebody that kind of semi-outlier that has a great week. It's like, it just shows how hard it is to actually win an event.
I'll tell you what I do want to just check, and I've just seen it again. Famously, Live now, if you win, you get $4 million. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm looking at here, and I'm sure it's because it's now becoming a FedEx event. Lucas Glover won 3.6 million yesterday.
Wow.
Like,
well, they've got to put the hands in the pockets and give these guys a reason to not go over to Live.
But it's mad how that gap feels like it's really close. And correct me if I'm wrong, like, one of the things that I've always talked about is I don't particularly care how much money they're winning. It's just interesting that I've seen this recently online, certainly from yesterday with Lucas Glover and Cam Smith winning. I was like, there's got to be some way of what I'm trying to get at here. What I'm trying to get at is, for me, I'm not bothered about how much they win. I'm not. It's the fact I've seen news articles that are telling me Cam Smith won 4 million, news articles telling me Lucas Glover's won 3.6. I'm almost seeing it as like, whoa, that seems very, very close. Where I felt like the gap was much bigger.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Question for you.
Go for it.
I saw these stats around the Women's Open. I can't remember the number now top of my head, but basically the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X are the ball that is used. And in fact, let me try and find it quickly.
Just while you're doing that, another quick thing that I forgot to talk about at Pastures, why I'm now Pastures through and through, is actually made me an honorary member.
Wow.
I am an honorary member.
What does that mean?
Of one of the hardest golf courses in the world. Basically, I can do what I want. So turn up when I want, play when I want.
When are you gonna go next?
Next time we film there.
Okay.
I've got a tour pro, a big name tour pro who mentioned on this podcast already, not that long ago. He wants to go there and see if he can break par and shoot a new course record. So that might be the next time I go. I've actually not played it yet.
And you want to remember? And
I think we need to do break 75 there.
Well, I hope we should do break 75 if it's par 64.
I don't know. Let's do one.
Yeah, it'd be good. This stat I can't find standard. I've kind of last minute with it, but basically I can't remember the exact number. But at the AIG Women's Open, the Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X were kind of by a country mile the most used golf ball, right?
Yeah.
In fact, here we go. Is this it? No, this isn't it. Anyway, what brands do you genuinely think, if sponsorships went out the window tomorrow, would be the most used brands? I without a shadow of a doubt, think Titleist would be the number one used brand. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh,
you mean so tomorrow, everyone's club contract gets terminated?
So I've got the stat here. Finally found it. This is your Titleist Twitter. Every major, the overwhelming majority choose the number one ball in golf. This week at Walton Heath, 73% of the field are teeing up either Pro V1 or Pro V1X, more than 8 times the nearest competitor. So obviously a lot of people are getting paid to use that, admittedly. So you could argue, well, if Titleist stopped paying, some of those might go and use a TaylorMade ball or Bridgestone ball or whatever. But I think a lot of those probably aren't getting paid, just want to use it because it's what they grow up using.
But then also you look at, you've then got to cancel out all the people who are signed by TaylorMade.
Yeah.
For example, Charlie Hull's not playing with the Pro V1.
Right.
You know, there's because she's TaylorMade.
Yeah.
So even that 73% are people either they sponsor or choose or are allowed to play with Pro V1. That's what I'm saying.
So if tomorrow sponsorship just ended, would Titleist see even more usage?
Pro V1 would be the number one ball.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a toss-up between...
I think Odyssey might have putters.
Yeah, I was going to go driver. I think
I'll go on then to driver. I think drive to last.
I think as Tour Pros, I think TaylorMade might just
in driver
stealth.
Okay. Do you think?
Yeah.
I think Ping would be up there as well. A lot of guys who are not in contract are using Ping.
I would then say irons. Irons could be anything, couldn't it?
Mizuno.
You could think Mizuno. I feel like Mizuno, I don't feel like I've not seen that many irons at the moment with Mizuno. Like they had that real sweet spell where Brooks Koepka was out of contract after leaving Nike before he signed with Strixon. And he went on that massive run where he won loads of majors with Mizuno. And Mizuno was like, another major win, but they couldn't actually say who it was. But he's also debunked that now because now he's won with Strixon. Yeah. So it's not the irons obviously doing it.
I still think again, Titleist to be up there. I really do.
Yeah.
And then wedges again, you're going to go Vokey, let's be honest.
And you mentioned putters, is it not Scotty Cameron?
I think if Odyssey would give him a good run for the money.
If they could play with any putter, I feel like they'd go Scotty, which all in all is all still Titleist.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd win driver. I don't think it'd win 3-wood. I don't think it'd win fairway woods.
Driver, yeah. I don't know. I'm just interested in it.
I think Ball would definitely be outright winner on that one.
I just think I know people do naturally, obviously, get kind of influenced, if you like, by what tour pros use. And that's the whole reason why brands give them loads and loads and loads of money. That, if you see Rory with TaylorMade, you think, well, it's good enough for him. And I always think to myself as well, even though he's getting paid, he's surely not going to want to use inferior products. So it must be good. It validates it to a degree. But having said that, like with Bryson now leaving Cobra, he's got all random stuff in the bag. He's got a crank driver. I think he's got some Ping irons and he's had all different bits. Just shows how quickly they can just jump ship.
Did you hear this weird story about Rory McIlroy's putter this weekend?
So we went into a Scotty Cameron.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he realised that it was different length to his Spider that he'd been using. He was longer and he was like, I'm not comfortable with it. They measured it. It was 3/10 of an inch longer.
My days. And he realised.
And he could notice it. So Harry, his caddy, because they had no tour trucks apparently by the time he'd noticed, Harry, his caddy, had to go to it's a golf store in America that I actually not heard of. Edwin
Watts, yeah.
Yeah, he had to go to an Edwin Watts and get Rory McIlroy putter cut down.
Oh my word.
And have the grip put back on, which is a bit mad, isn't it? Imagine that. Like some assistant pro going, oh God, I've got...
Put the grip back on straight. That'd be quite daunting.
It really would. And they're going, what do you mean? It's the same length. They don't need a difference there.
Yeah, how do you even cut off that salt?
I don't know if you could.
Sand it down, maybe?
Possibly. Anyway.
We have now confirmed, and this is something we're kind of leaving more further on the podcast. We're not actually doing the tickets just yet, but we have confirmed the live podcast, Rick.
Boom.
Can you tell me when it is? Can you remember?
Friday the 13th of October.
Correct.
Friday the 13th.
What a day to have done a live podcast.
So hopefully there's no bad omens. But yeah, Friday the 13th of October, it's going to be an evening event, but not too late.
No.
Like 7-ish.
7-ish.
Tickets will be announced and going on sale
hopefully next week.
Tuesday.
Yeah. We can say the venue though if you want. I think we've locked it in.
No, it's not yet.
Okay.
Let's get tickets. So it's going to be Manchester.
Based, yeah.
It's a space that we use, or a place we use a lot. I might be giving it away. We're going to have, how many guests, how many actual fans can we have turn up?
I think it's about 275. So
rowdy bunch.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. So stay tuned to social media, to the podcast next Tuesday. I think tickets are going to go pretty fast. Are we going to almost announce the tickets in this podcast next and then go on sale straight after the podcast goes out?
Something like that. That works. I think get them early is what I would say. Set an alarm. They will sell out.
I think they'll sell out really quickly.
And they're not too expensive at 455 quid, I think.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, no, they're about 20 quid, I think. Not stupid money.
It's going to be open to all. Sometimes in these live podcasts, me and Guy will have a few little beverages beforehand.
You'll be absolutely Ricky.
A few curse words may be thrown out. So
remember the last time we did the live podcast at London, and you had obviously quite a few beforehand, and you went to go out without trousers on. I was like, no, we've got to wear trousers. You're like, no, it's funny. I was like, Rick, put some pants on, mate. And eventually you did. Do you remember that?
Idiot. Why are you telling everyone that? Why are you telling everyone my secrets?
Right, anyway, on a more serious matter. Well, before that, we've got an email for you. So I've not been doing as many emails recently, but feel free to send them in. The email address is simple. It's podcast@rickshiels.com. Send them, we read them.
You won't let me put my underpants on my head or anything. Anyway, so
so we have got an email.
Go for it.
And it's a similar vibe to what we've had before, Rick. This is something where you need to have your real thinking cap on and provide us with the best advice because it's getting this guy down. So he said, "Dear Rick, please excuse the length of this email, but I want to make sure I've covered everything so you can cast judgment." And I saw that and thought, it's going to be too long. It's not actually that long, so bear with. I've been playing golf with a friend for about 8 years. We've been members of the same course, and the two of us play no matter the weather. During this time, he's brought a few of his other friends to play, which is always fine with me, although they don't tend to play in, week out like we do. The problem is that I always end up being pushed to the side during the round and spending it on my own. I end up finding myself walking 20 yards behind them sometimes. The conversation leaks into them talking when I'm setting up, when I'm swinging the club, or and I end up having to hit over the golf trolleys or over them. I end up fixing the pitch marks they have left. They end up walking all over my line. They never bother picking up the flag. They just put out and leave it for me to then get the flag and put it back in the hole. It's making me fall out with love with the game. It's grown to a head, and after finishing the 18th last time we played, I threw everything in my car and left. I would love to be able to join my golf club society, but I just can't afford it. So I'm thinking of just playing golf on my own for the foreseeable. Would I be wrong in doing that? Am I being a bit dramatic? I would talk about it, but I don't want to be the whiny so-and-so, and I don't think it'll make a difference anyway. I love this game, and I want it to fall back in love with it. Honest thoughts are welcome. I'm sorry if I wasted a few minutes of your time. Cheers. From Anonymous.
Oh, it makes me quite sad, that. It makes me quite sad, that email.
Well,
is this written by you? Or is this when James Robinson joined us at Royal?
How do you guess?
I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Been pals for 8 years, been playing golf, whatever the weather, all the time. And he's bringing other players into a relationship. And there just sounds like there's no ground rules at all.
No
safe word.
No safe word.
Oh God, it's really tricky one, isn't it? Like what? Because he doesn't want to come across and say, I don't like your friends who are coming. But there's got to be some level of etiquette.
Well, what sounds quite difficult as well is it's not like they just do one thing that is like, I hate the way your mates do X with a word. Because then you could go, all right, but it's like they talk too much, they're in the way, they don't put the flag back in, he gets left out. There's a lot of things that feels like
kind of his mate's issue, isn't it, really? Like it's not his mate's issue, it's his mate's issue. Like you know, if let's say, for example, you go, like even this weekend, let's say when you're around at the party, if I was stood there and there was someone from school who I've been hanging around with for the last 20 years, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And we started talking about these, do you remember that funny story 20 years ago? You do your best to include the people around you.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
You just give a bit of a synopsis to say, just a quick one. By the way, guys, this story is really funny. It was when we used to go to school together. Like you try and bring other people into the conversation because it's rude if you don't.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like his mate isn't doing those sort of things. He's not reading the room and the situation to go, hold on. I've got a mate over here.
He's not reading the greens.
Yeah, he's not reading the greens. I've got a mate over here who I go back a long way with, and I've got my golf mate over here. He's not kind of including everybody into the conversation and the chat, which it's quite rude, really. Because then otherwise, if anonymous guy who's emailed in starts going, what are you talking about, guys? Like, it's like, we're talking about something. I don't know. I do think he does need to try and find other friends and other people to play golf with. I mean, if you're at a golf course and you want to play all the time, every day, I'm sure whatever the weather, I'm sure you've probably seen other people down there on a regular basis that you can kind of maybe join with now and again, make an excuse to say to his pal, I can't play at 8:30. You go out with your mate. I'm gonna come play a little bit later this afternoon with a couple of other guys that I've met at the golf club.
Yeah.
Make him jealous.
Yes, I like that.
But I don't know. I just think try and get yourself out there. Try and put your name down with another player. Go out at a different time of day. Bring it up with your mate. Just kind of mention off when you are just you and him one time. Just say, by the way, when you bring your mates, like I do find it a bit rude that they don't do this, they don't do that.
Yeah,
it's really hard. I think he's in a really tricky situation.
Off one of them half of the round.
No, I don't think we should scrap. Maybe an arm wrestle. But I think...
a little fight on the 18th green.
I don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
I think the thing is with golf clubs, they can become places where everyone gets into a routine where you play with the same people at the same time, week in, week out. And that's fine if that's what you want. And the thing is with a golf club as well, there's kind of lots of different things you can get out of a golf club. So with a gym, and this isn't speaking for every gym, but typically people kind of go to the gym, they do the workout, and then they go home. You might nod at a few people you recognise in the gym or the personal trainer that you sometimes see. And certainly when I was young and I was really, really into the gym many, many years ago now, it was become like a club for me. I knew everyone in there to go at a certain time and hang around the same guys and train together. But that was kind of an anomaly. Most people go in, do the stuff and go home. With a golf club, though, you've got some people who are the bantermen who go up on a weekend, they tee off at 10 o'clock, finish at 2, and they drink until 5 o'clock. They get picked up or whatever, they get a lift home, and everyone knows them. And you get some people, when I used to work in the golf shop, and you would have seen this yourself, there's some people who'd literally, they'd park up, they'd come into the golf shop, they'd literally just open the door, put the head in and say, I'm here for my 2:40 tee time. Yeah, great. They'd walk out, play the golf, jump in the car, and other than that, wouldn't step foot in the clubhouse. And they've been members for years, but nobody knew them because that's how they wanted to have the membership, which is fine. And it's a weird situation of like, well, what do you want from it? So suppose if he wants to kind of jump in with both feet first, he could become more known at the golf club, where that'd be playing more of the competitions and just book on with random people. It's a tough one, but if you play with the same people week in, week out, it can become a situation where you don't know anybody else.
Yeah, it's a tricky
weird,
one.
Isn't it?
Cast your net. Try and make some new friends. Should we fly through some questions from Facebook?
Yes, I've got a couple for you. Do you want me to ask these first?
Please. And by the way, sorry, quick one. I know you always plug it. The Facebook group, very excited. 97.4 thousand members.
Friends. Borderline family. I'm surprised you weren't all at the party at the weekend.
I think they were.
Yeah, it's a good community. We love it on there and join. Anything else to say on it?
It's free.
It's free. So Ryan, I'm really sorry, Ryan, I can't read your last name. I think it's Kozlowski, something like that. Has, as a high handicapper and clubhouse member, I'm confused why Rick hasn't moved to more forgiving irons. Yeah, hybrids aren't going to happen, that's fine, but why not in the T200s or P790s, given he appeared to be so consistent with them in the review?
Yeah, not a bad shout. I don't think, for me, looks do play a big part. I know we did a survey recently when I did that hybrid video about could you overlook the looks of golf clubs for performance? Mm-hmm. And it was like 70% said yes. I'm in the 20% that said no. I'm very cosmetic, and when I put a club behind the ball, it's got to look nice. The T200s do that just a little bit chunky. The new P790s, which I'm about to review this afternoon, actually, again, they could be a bit slimmer. Maybe a P770 I could go with. Yeah. Maybe the T150s, I know you're rocking them at the moment.
Yeah, long irons are good. I'm
not totally against it, but they've just got to look nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's the thing that certainly when you're newer to golf and you may don't, like I said, looks are so important. That's why, like you said before, I know it's not quite a looks, but Rory knew the club was however much longer. Yeah. Because it's a feel and it just kind of doesn't feel right, and you have to be confident. This was a strange one from Peter McIntosh. He put, out of the blue, when we asked for questions, he put one annoying thing about Rick and one annoying thing about Guy. Rick says ridiculous far too many times. Does he actually know this?
That's ridiculous.
It is stupid. And he said, Guy, why does your laughter come over so loudly on the speaker?
Oh.
So
because it's loud.
Yeah, sorry, Peter. But yeah.
And then someone's put, Phil Vincent's commented, but imagine that getting out of hand on the podcast. Starts off with one thing each, then descends into chaos.
I don't understand that.
No, I don't. Anyway, I didn't actually read it before I read it.
Oh, okay. Nice preparation.
Dave Pennington.
Hello.
I don't know if you're going to have the answer to this.
I will.
Because I'm concerned one of these things you haven't watched.
Go on then.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Or Tin Cup.
Not in Tin Cup. Is Tin Cup good?
That's your homework for this week.
I hate movies. I don't like watching films. Too long. Give me YouTube any day. You could name a million popular films I've not seen. I'm just not really a film guy. I'm not really a film guy.
I tell you what, are you open to discussing what you put in your mouth Saturday?
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So for some reason, don't ask me why, there's no logic behind this. I exclusively eat chicken or beef, right? In the meat arena. I'm not a vegetarian, obviously. I've got a massive burger on the delivery right now. But if it's not chicken and it's not beef, I ain't eating it. Now, when I tell people that, the next response is, what, fish? I say no. What about bacon? I say no. Oh, nice little lamb chop. I say no. Go on, a sausage. You must have a sausage. No. And people don't understand that when I say it, I mean it. Chicken or beef or nothing, right? That's it.
I've known you for a long time. That's all you'll participate putting in your mouth.
Yes. However, things changed. And that's not always been the case. I don't know why it's now the case. There's nothing behind it other than it's weird, I know. However, on Saturday, at your house, I had a sausage roll.
How did you find it?
I actually really liked it. And I was eating it thinking, why don't I eat these more often?
Because you're an athlete.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. So, yeah, I feel like a new man.
You seem different today. You seem, I can tell. Oh God, there's too many jokes here. Yeah, I'm done.
Speaking of athlete though, just a quick one. We have had a lot of people, and we appreciate it, joining us on the 100 kilometers in August.
Oh yeah.
So if you've missed this, anyone who wants to partake, feel free. We're going to run 100 kilometers this month. I'm on 45k so far. You're on?
I'm on like 28. Yeah, I've really slowed down this last week.
I did commit to being on 50 by today, and I'm a 5k short of that, so I'm sorry. Hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, everyone listens to it, I will actually be on 50, so I'll try and do some tonight. People are doing it by walking or running. If you want to do just do 50k, that's a par. 75k, that's a birdie, or 100k is an eagle. Any more than that, you're insane. But yeah, join us. People have been, joining us and doing it.
So Alex, who runs our hit channel, he's made it less competitive.
Yeah, he's ruined it really.
He's really ruined it for us, to be honest with you. He's gone out like a train and he's on 67 kilometers.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying really.
Ed, who does all our graphics and our wonderful shot tracers, scorecards, etc., has done 49k. He's in second. Then you're in third. I'm in fourth at 28. Matt, who does the podcast, is currently injured. So he is a full kilometre behind me, and I hope he stays there. And Sam, who does all the camera gear, he's only done 13k at the moment. He needs to up that up. Here's a quick question. James Edge, would you rather shoot level par every round guaranteed? 18 pars in a row.
Yeah.
Every time guaranteed. Or have the ups and downs of golf, not knowing if you have the possibility of shooting 10 under par or 20 over par?
100% the second option. How boring would it be? You wouldn't play golf. Think about this now. Every time you played golf, you just parred the hole. Where would the fun be?
It doesn't tell you how you par the hole.
True.
Like you could hit one out of bounds and...
Yeah, but you also smart your scorecard before you go out.
Yeah, but I think you do everything you could to try and not hit par, but you still do.
Yeah, no, I think you would never win anything really, because your handicap would be scratch, and you'd always just shoot. You might win occasionally if it's a really tough day. You might shoot level par and net 72 and win. But if you go out and shoot 10 under par one day, you could win lowest gross, win club championship. Next week you're 20 over. Oh, bad day in the office today.
But if you shot level par every single time, could you not be a tour pro?
No way.
What would level par get you?
You wouldn't get through Q school, would you?
True. You could get.
There was an article on this.
You get through regional qualifying for the Open.
Yeah, you wouldn't keep your tour card. There was an article on this. Literally, I'm not joking. About 20 years ago, in I think Golf Monthly or whatever, Today's Golf or Golf World at the time, and it was called Mr. Par, and it was like an imaginative thing. If there was a guy who did actually do that and parred everything, how would he do on tour? And you wouldn't keep your card. But then what's weird, I suppose, actually is, I don't know if that's, in fact, I might be making it up because. Is there some events where like actually par would do quite well, like the US Open or something?
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's not as often anymore.
No, and you wouldn't get your card in the first instance.
Like over par doesn't win hardly anything, does it? Even US Opens now, like the guys are shooting under par every single time, really. Yeah.
I like the excitement of golf. I think that's why we love golf, even though we don't think we do. The fact that it is so random and how you can play can vary so much. It makes the highs so much better because the lows are so grim.
I think I want the pars all the time.
No, you like mess and stuff being random.
I didn't answer the question before from Penno. Tink Up or Happy Gilmore?
Oh yeah,
for me, Happy Gilmore every day.
Yeah,
but Tink Up, honestly, I know you're not a film guy. Definitely check it out. Okay. Right, last question. Coming in hot.
How hot?
Super hot. Once I found it. What would be a good question to ask? There's some very, very random ones. Like someone's asked, "How full are your bins?"
Empty because mine emptied on Monday. So quick one for you. Actually, today's Monday. Obviously, the podcast is out on Tuesday. So tonight, Monday night, Man United are playing. What's your football vibe this year? We'll see how it goes.
Depends how much we start to win.
If you are in the top three by Christmas, I think you will be a massive football fan again.
If City would have drawn or lost the first game, I think I'd have got much more interested. I just think they look too good.
I think Dwight York will have a good season.
As long as he's partnering with Andy Cole again, I think he'll be fine. So I think my football will be up there this year.
Your knowledge?
Just like my interest.
Okay.
If it lasts post-Christmas, I'll be impressed.
Yeah, you need to have that little bit of knowledge. Yesterday was a bit awkward, so Liverpool played and I had my Liverpool shirt on just because I got my little girl a Liverpool kit. Obviously, the people here go, ooh. But anyway, I did. And when...
What did you do?
And when... Some of my family came to watch the match as well, and they left. And as I was kind of seeing them out, I took the bins out because, as I just said, my bins get collected on a Monday. And my neighbour, he was also putting his bins out, said, "Oh, you just watch that then." Again, having Liverpool shit on. I went, "Oh yeah, it wasn't so good, was it?" And I went, "No." And I was thinking, I wish now I had that knowledge where I could say, "We just need X. Oh, we need to do that. We need to press more from the back." You know what to say?
We need to sign that unnamed player from like Crystal Palace or whatever.
Correct. I didn't know what to say, so I just went, "Oh, yeah, wasn't very good, was it?"
We need to score more.
Yeah,
but that's it, innit?
But you like that. You love what you love. You get in your haircut. The barber's like, "What's your match last night, mate?" And you've heard a little bit on Twitter. You go, "Yeah, just we need that new left mid, don't we? Just to penetrate up that left wing."
Well, it's good now because this is not 1 second me being sexist, but I have a female barber now. And
she's not into football.
We talk about anything else but football.
TikTok.
So it's great. So you can hear some of the other customers panicking because the other fellas who barbers there are like, "Oh, so did you watch the match?" And they're like, yeah, I definitely watched it. So I think realistic, that's the only reason why people watch football.
Yeah, to talk. I love the excitement of a football match is far better than watching a football match. Have you seen those videos though where like people go up to like football grounds and they'll go to like these claim to be hardcore fans and they go, "So what do you think about the fact we're looking at signing Shiels from Lazio for 14.6 million?" People go like, yeah, he's a good player. He's good on his left side, left-footed, couldn't he? And just made up name.
Made up name. Yeah. I love it. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Our burgerism has arrived.
That's it. Pretty
much. See you all soon. Have a wonderful day, week, month, whatever you're doing. Tickets on sale for the live show next week. Lots and lots of things are happening always, so stay tuned to everything.
That's not convinced me to stay tuned, but come on then. Why have you asked so nicely?
I feel like I started the podcast with such high energy and I've really
flattened,
gone down.
If anyone's listening this far,
I don't think this is our best episode.
No, I don't. It's crap. Let's not release it. If this is released, if you listen to this bit now, it's because you've got nothing else to offer you. So you've got this, basically.
And if you did enjoy this,
190 episodes of this drivel. Absolute drivel.
4 years.
Actually, if you're in the clubhouse, then yeah.
We apologise.
Find a new hobby.
you get less of a bloody murder. Less of a murder. Right. All the best. See you all.
Get less of a murder.
Bye.